Do my best to make this video as short as possible, but also giving the details necessary to explain the story and the situation that happened. So please don't skip around, you'll miss things, but enjoy the video and roast me in the comments, because I know that that's definitely gonna happen. There was a lot of error and red flags on my part that I should have caught on to. But sit back, listen to the story, and enjoy the video. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to another video. This is not a video I ever thought that I would be making in my entire life. When I first started YouTube, my goal was to not only, for entertainment purposes, but for more or less, I would say, educational. I think there's a lot of things that I like that not many people like in general, and there's not a lot of information out there on a lot of the stuff. So I decided that, it would be fun to pick up a camera and just kind of record and see where it took me. Long story short, that's what this channel has always been about, and will try to continue in the future. But unfortunately, my car was stolen. My 2021 Camaro SS that had all of that work done, Magnuson 2650, a built LME 416 short block, along with all your supporting mods, made over 800 wheel horsepower, over 800 torque, has been stolen. And in today's video, we're basically going to go over how it happened. Not going to go over what's coming and what's kind of happening now. I'll save that for a part 2 as we let some of the stuff develop, whether it's the with the police and the insurance and stuff like that. So let's just get right into it. All right, so we're going to start from the beginning. Why was I selling the car in the first place? I decided to sell the car because I felt like I've had the car for almost 3 years now. I felt like I knew almost everything about the platform. There was nothing new that was kind of popping up. I had the car built. I experienced what that power was like. I felt like the money that it took to take it to the next step was, a lot of money. And I felt like, I'm dumping so much money into this car that's not gaining any value of any sort, which, yes, I know that in most cases, your mods don't add value, you won't ever see it again, etc. I learned a lot with this build over, with everything that happened. So, yes, I understand that, but I felt like I wanted to continue to do more, give new content, and I just wasn't able to do that with this car. So that's the main reason I was selling it. Also, to get into a new platform I think would be cool. Try to do something maybe a little bit different that not everybody does, and continue to grow the channel. So you have the why I was selling the car. This is now how I was selling the car. So originally, just like most other people, I threw it on Facebook Marketplace along with a couple other groups, Camaro, buy, sell, trade, stuff like that. I also came across the website and an Instagram page called Street Car Market. Now, if you're not familiar with them, they have a pretty large Instagram following. They have a pretty nice website, etc., all social media platforms. And I saw it as a really good way to sell my car because they specify and deal with modified cars. It's all modified cars. There's no stock cars. There's no, it's all things that have been built to some extent. So with 200 or 300,000 plus followers all across the United States, looking at this page for modified cars, I figured it was my best option. So you pay, there's different packages, but I paid I think 150 bucks to have this ad created. You take a bunch of pictures, any video you want, a huge list of your modifications, and they create a nice simple ad for you, explaining everything, and it just gets the car out there. So that's how I was selling it. It took about, I want to say like maybe 2 or 3 weeks of it being posted before I got my first real offer. So the guy called me, then my number was listed under the website for the ad, obviously. So he called me, said, hey, I'm super interested in the car. What do we got to do to get this going? So I'm like, okay. The guy was in, originally what he told me was Alabama. York, Alabama to be specific. So that's about 17 and a half, 18 hours from me in New York. So I told him, yes, the car has a lien on it. That obviously needs to be taken care of, and I expect some sort of, deposit of some sort, in order to like go forward with this. And he actually wanted me to bring the car to him, which is not a big deal to me. I didn't mind, especially, he was offering $58,000 for the car, which is pretty close to what I wanted, which some of you are obviously going to freak out because that's a really good deal for, Camaro SS, but with all that money that I had invested into it, which I'll get into later. So after speaking to him for, a day, we decided that he was going to pay off my car by calling the lien company and pay them directly. And then he was going to give me an extra $2,000 to bring the car to him. So I'm like, well, if the payoff goes through, obviously this is pretty legit, and, I don't mind bringing the car to him. Sure enough, on Tuesday, May 28th, I think it was, I called GM, and he had, the payment had gone through, and the car and the account was closed. So $29,000 this guy paid, legitly, so far that we know, and it went through. So my next step was to get the car down to him. He started asking a couple odd questions. As you can see, there's a dirt bike in the background. He started asking, because my car was set up in here while I was taking some of the pictures for him. He started asking some weird questions like, hey, is that bike for sale? My son really wants it. Or what else do you have for sale? The bike's not for sale, but I said, hey, I have an enclosed 8.5 by 22 foot trailer that I was looking to sell after the car was gone because I didn't plan on using it anymore. So he said he was interested in the trailer. So a little bit odd, because I'm like, does he really, why would he, it just seems like a lot to do, not seeing anything, just pictures, you're so far away, which to me was the first red flag, was why is he asking for all these things? But like I said, $30,000 went through. It's got to be legit. So we settled on a price for the trailer. So the goal was to get down to Alabama and pretty much go and sell him the car. So I loaded everything up. We got onto the highway, headed down, and he informed me that I was going to be meeting his son, who was going to be signing for the car, giving me the money, and taking possession of everything. So we started on our way down there. He changed his address on me. Said that he told me that he moved, or not that he thought he moved, that he thought he told me that he moved, and he didn't. So there we are, driving down now almost 20 hours to Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is where we ended up meeting this guy. I was pretty nervous the whole way down. Just a lot of things just kind of running through my head. You don't know who you're meeting. It's a 20-hour drive. Just a lot went into that. We can pretty much fast forward to getting there. We pretty much drove straight through, which was another error on our part because very fatigued, very tired, just wanted to get it over with. So we arrived down there around 7:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 30th. The address that the guy gave me was to a house that had neighbors, etc. So it wasn't just like a random street with, nobody around, just one house. So we stopped, we met the guy. I'll show a picture of him because I took a picture of him and along with his license plate, get it out there. He didn't ask a single question about this car. He looked at it very, very briefly, didn't pop the hood, didn't do anything. So I unstrapped the car, we started it up, let it idle. He's just listening, kind of just, I don't know, nonchalantly, just not caring, I guess. And then basically said, hey, my buddy's got the bank check, just go knock on the window. So I knock on the window, he hands me, shuffles through some stuff, he finds the check, which was not a personal check. I know not to take a personal check. It was a certified cashier's bank check from Wells Fargo Bank. I used to do a lot of transaction with bank checks, so I looked at it. The paper was thick, it had the perforated edge, watermarks, everything was spelled correctly. And like I said, he paid 30 grand up front. Didn't think anything of it. I'm sure you guys can start to see where this is going. So red flag number 4 now didn't really look at the car. Just kind of straight up ignored it and just, tried to get it over with as fast as possible. Had him sign the bill of sale for the amount. The check was good. Hooked up to the trailer, and the 2 guys took off. And that was pretty much the end of that. So we ended up going get something to eat. Very tired. Took a quick, just relaxed for a little bit. And I was very upset because, as you guys know, so much went into this car. All the time, all the stress, little problems here and there, just really learning the car. And it was my first ever sports car, ever. Bought it brand new on my own. So it was just kind of a sentimental thing. And I did a lot to it, all on my own. So it was very upsetting that the guy just didn't seem like he cared, and it was just a car to him, and I wanted it to go to a good home, which I know is not really the case, and at the end of the day, yes, it is just a car, but not the way that I looked at it. So anyways, it was probably about 10 plus hours into the drive home that something just didn't sit right with me. So I re-pulled out the check, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, it looks so real. There's nothing on it that tells me it's fake. There happened to be an address and a phone number on the top left-hand corner of this check, assuming right next to it was the Wells Fargo logo. So I'm kind of thinking, that's gotta be the bank. So first thing I did was look up the address that was on the check, and it brought me to a hair salon. Red flag, slapping you in the face, red flag. Called the phone number. The phone number, somebody answered, but it had nothing to do with a bank. So that was another, hello, you're an idiot. So at that point, full panic mode. This check is fake. But there was really nothing that I could do in the car when there's no bank around. I can't do anything. So I waited, we got home. We got home at 7 a.m. I think it was. And the bank opens at 9. So screw sleeping. I went right to the bank and waited. And as soon as they opened, I got in there, handed the check to the teller, where she looked at it for probably about 10 minutes before she actually called Wells Fargo and looked and had them, verify the check. And it indeed came out fake. So fake check, 20 hours away, guy has my car, has my trailer, and I have no money. Besides the $30,000 that he originally paid, but that wasn't paid to me, that was paid to release the car. So yeah, that's a lot to take in. The first step was to go to the police department, and I reported it stolen. Reported it to the DMV, reported to my insurance. I had OnStar at the time, so that they tried to locate it for me and everything. So yeah, as of right now, there's very minimal leads. I am dealing with insurance to hopefully get a settlement or paid out for that. But I'm going to save all that for another video. Just wanted to get the story out there, show some pictures of the car. Maybe this video will blow up and we'll get maybe a hit on something. Somebody knows somebody. Like again, this was in Jackson, Mississippi, just this last week. So if anybody sees anything, knows anything that's willing to reach out, there's a reward. I'll pay you. We get the car back and everything's good. So thanks for watching the video. I know it was probably pretty long. I can see the timer going, that's long. But if you enjoyed the video, I hope it's good information for everybody. Really do your research. You see red flags, don't do the deal. Just really strong lesson learned. As long as everything works out, this would be a real tragedy if nothing came of it. No payment, or insurance didn't want to do anything. So thanks for watching. Another video will come soon, maybe in a week or two, with some updates on what's happening. And we'll go from there. So thanks again, and we'll catch you in the next one.